Greetings, folks. I am MLH, and today we are talking about Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem, and specifically the current skill trees. And this video is specifically for Alpha Patch 0.5.0.5c. So let's get right into it. There are 5 basic starter builds to choose from. First you have the Thief, the Guardian, the Arcanist, Legionary, and the Hunter. We're going to go over each of these in separate videos and explain the class defining skills you can take. So with that said, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing we need to know is that your skills are controlled by what is called the Gates of Fate. And so if you want to do a skill reset, or you want to use all options of the skill menu, you need to be at a Gates of Fate to do so. Now you can select here, and this opens up what they call the Gates of Fate, but when in here all you can do is select skills. These wheels each can be rotated. You can select them and you can rotate them, but you can only rotate them if you are actually accessing them through the Gates of Fate in the game, and there are numerous places you can do this. So we're going to do this here, and so just to give you a visual what that looks like, if you select the inner one and then go to either of these 2 arrows, you can rotate, and from there and you can then select the next outer layer and you can rotate around, and then you can select the next layer. And currently in the 3rd layer, all they have is one set built out. And I'm not sure why it's not rotating. Oh, because I'm selected on the wrong one. There we go. Okay, so they only have one of them built out currently in this alpha patch. And then, of course, they have the last one. So you can see you have the potential to really make some crazy sort of different combinations and so forth. So that is the basics of how the skill trees work, and now we will go ahead and get directly into the individual classes. Alright, so let's get started on the Anarchist. We're going to take that one first, and basically we're going to read through what the class is defined as. So it's class defining skill, and then we're going to go through the major and minor skill nodes. We won't go through the basic nodes as much because there's just so many of them. We're just going to go through the ones that are more class defining. So the basic node for Arcanist reads as such. First step, Arcanist unlocks the following active skill: Spellbinder. In passive mode, increases your Umbra regeneration and your resistance against spells. When you use the spell, or when you put it in active mode, you enter an active mode and gain a temporary spell boost, spell damage boost instead, and it gives a passive +4 to willpower. So as we go through, I'll just give you an example of the most basic skill you have to take is Chaincast. Increases your speed by 10% that you cast spells. Seems pretty good, and a base to willpower. If you see white nodes, they mean nothing. The passive has not been put into the game yet. Okay? So, then it goes through a bunch of different items here. These are all very basic ones. And then your first minor node you come to is Magical Globe Understanding. Reduces all active spell cooldowns by 0.4 seconds for each time you pick up a globe. What the tip doesn't say is does that stack and for how long? So is it the buff it lasts for 10 seconds or 50 seconds or what have you? It doesn't specify. So we'll have to get more information on that, hopefully with the tooltips. I'm sure they'll be cleaned up some. The next one is Globe's Magnet. Increases your radius for picking up all globes of all types as you are closer to death. So lower your health, the larger your pickup radius is. Pretty good, pretty handy. And +2 to toughness. And then your first major node you come to is Volatile Nature. +8% to physical resistances when your Umbra is empty. So, and you have no mana or no Umbra, and it's hard for you to kill things, you have You're more tough, right? You can take more hits. And it also gives you a plus 8% to spell damage when your Umbra's full. So that initial first burst, you get more damage. It also encourages you to keep your Umbra full. And it's in a base plus 3 to willpower. If you decide to go off here to the left, you'll take a couple of skills so you can get to here, which is Umbral Leech, which basically means now that if you activate Spellbinder, which is your defining class skill, you will gain Umbra for being surrounded by enemies. So, seems good. You can help keep your Umbra topped off, or if you're empty, you can get some back in a hurry. As we move down through the rest of the basic tree, you got a couple more defining minors and 2 majors. Another minor, Power Boost, plus 1 to willpower for 3 seconds on each kill, and it's stackable up to 10 times. So you could, in theory, get up to a 10% willpower boost for 3 seconds. Now, I don't know if the buff stacks on time or if it's just the percent. I believe it's just the percent. And a base plus 2 to willpower. Then you have Critical Cast, a plus 6% to critical chance on your spells if your Umbra is full, and that decreases linearly with your current Umbra. So again, encouraging you to keep your Umbra full. You have these two, this one here, which I did not take, which is Weapon Mastery Staves. Each critical hit done with a stave may replenish your Umbra, and a plus 10% damage to all damage done with staves. So, Umbra, if you're running low on Umbra, or if you're weaving weapon attacks between casting spells, you have a way to keep your Umbra topped off. The last 2 major skills are Magical Affinity, 20% bonus to Umbra generation if your Umbra is empty. So again, if you're empty, getting it back as fast as possible is always good, plus 3 to willpower. And Battle Ready, plus 6% to spell damage if your Umbra is full. And this also encourages you to keep full. The last minor that's available is not a caster, but is a combination of a caster. It's what they're calling Archmage, a Battle Mage, excuse me. And it gives you a damage to your bonus, a damage bonus to your spells, depending on your total ferocity. And it gives you plus 2 to ferocity. So those are the basics for the initial Arcanist class. We will get into the second tier of casters in a separate video. But for now, that is what we got, and I hope this gives you a picture currently of how the basic caster looks in this alpha patch. So I am a new streamer, and if you like what you see, and a new YouTuber for that matter, if you like what you see, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up. Maybe a share would be an amazing blessing to me. Leave some comments below. What do you think about Wolcen and where it's going right now? Does it have the bones needed to be the next ARPG that would kind of change the genre? And then if you'd like to check me out on my Twitch, I have a link below as well, and I would love to see you there. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.